Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something completely fascinating. We're going to uncover the invisible team that is making your absolute favorite apps run so seamlessly in 2026. Think about it. Every single time you order takeout, check your bank balance, or stream a movie, there is this highly specialized group working tirelessly behind the scenes. And here's the kicker. It's actually not the developers writing the app code itself. No, it's the folks building the massive, interconnected foundation underneath it all.
To truly appreciate what this invisible team does, we kind of need to ground this highly technical topic in a super relatable frustration. So imagine you're this incredibly passionate chef, right? Cooking is your art. It is what you do best. But every single morning, before you can cook even a single meal, you have to build your own stove entirely from scratch. You've got to plumb the sink, you're installing the electrical wiring for the fridge, setting up the whole supply chain. I mean, by the time you've done all of that, you were just completely exhausted, and you haven't even started cooking yet. Well, for the last decade, that exact exhaustion was literally the daily reality for software developers.
And that intense daily burnout, it's exactly why we're seeing such a massive shift right now. In fact, Gartner predicts that a staggering 80% of large software organizations will have dedicated platform teams by the end of this very year. 80%! We have officially hit a monumental tipping point here. This is arguably the biggest shift in how software gets built since the invention of the cloud itself, and companies are just racing to adopt it, because honestly, it just works.
Section 1, The Promise of DevOps, The Developer's Dilemma.
So let's take a quick step back. About 10 to 15 years ago, the tech industry had this really grand idea. They thought, what if developers didn't just write the code, but they also ran it? The philosophy was that giving developers complete ownership over deploying, monitoring, and fixing their own work would make everything so much faster and better. You know, you build it, you run it. It sounded like the absolute perfect way to build software.
But in reality? Oh man, it created this massive, overwhelming cognitive load. Developers were suddenly expected to be cloud engineers, security experts, and network administrators all at the exact same time. There's actually one developer at a large company who noted they had to juggle 17 different incredibly complex tools just to get a simple application from their laptop into production. 17! Each one with its own interface, its own weird quirks, and endless documentation. The entire system just bottlenecked.
Section 2, Enter Platform Engineering, Building the Airport so you can fly.
So, to solve this totally paralyzing dilemma, a brilliantly simple solution finally emerged. Instead of forcing every single developer to be an infrastructure expert, organizations started creating dedicated internal teams whose entire job is to build a shared platform. Think of an internal developer platform kind of like an airport. When you go to the airport, you don't need to understand how the crazy complex baggage handling system works, right? You aren't asked to master air traffic control protocols or go configure the jet bridge. You just need to get on the plane and travel. The platform handles all that background complexity totally automatically, so the developer can just focus on their actual destination, which is building great features. To see exactly what that looks like in practice, let's look at the old workflow for a second. Before platform engineering, launching a new feature meant a developer had to suffer through literally days of manual setup. Just listen to this list. You'd have to wrestle with Kubernetes configurations, painstakingly set up networking so your services could actually talk to each other, build the CI/CD pipeline from scratch, configure the monitoring alerts, manage all the security secrets, and provision the database. Every single one of these steps could take hours or even days of frantic research, trial, and error. Now, the disparity between that chaotic old workflow and the new one is honestly staggering. After an internal developer platform is introduced, that entire painful process just vanishes. Now a developer just opens the platform interface, selects a template, maybe it's a Python API or a React front end, types in a name, and clicks Create. And that's it. A process that used to take days of manual configuration now takes just minutes with a single click. It is a total game changer.
Section 3, The Platform Stack Explained, Assembling the Ultimate Lego Set. You might be wondering, okay, what mechanics actually power one of these platforms under the hood? Well, just like buying a pre-organized Lego set that comes with super clear instructions, the platform team takes all those complex raw tools and assembles them into a highly automated foundation. They're using Kubernetes as the cloud operating system to manage containers. They use tools like Terraform or OpenTofu for infrastructure as code, which makes sure everything is built correctly every single time. They bake in automated CI/CD pipelines, observability tools for instant monitoring, and increasingly AI assistants that actually let developers provision setups using just natural language. So the platform team builds this ultimate Lego set once, which then saves everybody else in the company immense amounts of time every single day. Section 4, Philosophy versus Product. Isn't this just DevOps again?
Now, if you're familiar with the tech world, you might be asking a very fair question right now. Isn't this just DevOps rebranded? But the answer reveals a completely different reality for modern organizations. See, DevOps was essentially a cultural philosophy. It was all about shared ownership and breaking down walls. But hey, philosophy doesn't configure your servers. DevOps effectively handed developers 17 disconnected tools and basically said, good luck. Platform engineering, on the other hand, is a concrete, highly usable, maintained product. It's an internal product built specifically to handle that heavy lifting for you. Because at the end of the day, good intentions don't deploy code, but a well-built platform absolutely does.
This conceptual pivot is so vital to understand. Platform engineering doesn't replace DevOps. It gives DevOps a home. The cultural principles of collaboration and automation haven't been abandoned at all. They have finally been embedded into an automated system that actually works. The philosophy got turned into a tangible product.
Section 5, the future of software. What this means for tech in 2026 and beyond.
So, where is all this heading? Let me tell you, this isn't just some passing niche trend. Platform engineering is officially the fastest-growing technical role of the decade. We're seeing the lines blur, meaning that understanding how to interact with these platforms will very soon be a core skill for absolutely any developer. Furthermore, these internal platforms are being actively supercharged by AI right now. We are moving toward a world where a platform engineer in 2028 might actually spend as much time working with AI to generate infrastructure as they do with Kubernetes itself. And most importantly, this is completely democratizing software development. Cloud providers are making these enterprise-grade platform tools available to businesses and startups of all sizes, which means software is getting faster and more reliable everywhere.
Ultimately, the software industry is finally solving the massive problem of complexity that it actually created for itself. So I'll leave you with this final thought to spark your curiosity. The next time you open an app and it just works, it's fast, it's reliable, it's totally secure, ask yourself, who is the invisible platform team underneath it all? Take a moment to remember the highly specialized, unseen engineers making all of our modern digital experiences possible. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep questioning how the amazing tech around you actually gets built.